What matters to us now is that people want to use our music. For that, as I see it, is our job, to be useful and to the living.
This film celebrates Benjamin Britten in his centenary year, and it celebrates the musical and cultural legacy Britain brought to Aldeburgh and the East Suffolk coast.
I have tried to live elsewhere, but a magnet always brings me back. I feel at home in this kind of scenery, the marshes, the small villages, the fishermen in their boats. That all is a part of my life without which I cannot seem to do.
Born in Lowestoft, Suffolk, in 1913, Benjamin Britten was educated at Gresham's School in Norfolk and then at the Royal College of Music in London. In 1937, Britten met the tenor Peter Pears, who was to become his musical collaborator and life partner. He also bought the Old Mill in Snape, overlooking the maltings beside the River Ald. And the maltings were to play a central role in Britten's later life, when they were transformed into the world-famous Snape Maltings Concert Hall. Britten was a strong believer in pacifism, and it was this that led to his move to the United States in 1939. While he was there, Britten was inspired by the Suffolk poet George Crabbe, whose poem The Borough, about an Aldeburgh fisherman, Peter Grimes, intensified Britten's homesickness. On his return to live at the Old Mill, he composed the opera Peter Grimes. When it was premiered in 1945, Britten leapt to international fame. In 1948, now living in Crag House on the seafront, Britten and Pears launched the Aldeburgh Festival. It was an immediate success. Nowadays, this annual festival continues to attract thousands of visitors from all over the world.
That's good. I think the shape of the festival is very much dictated by the town itself, the buildings, the size of those buildings, and the quality of those buildings.
Benjamin Britten had a love for amateur music making and for working with the local community. In the early 1950s, he founded the Aldeburgh Music Club. Meetings were held at his home. Peter Pears was the club's first president. Britten and their friend Imogen Holst were the vice presidents. 60 years on, and with over 100 members, the club is now one of East Anglia's leading choral societies, performing regularly at Snape Maltings. As part of the Britten Centenary weekend, Aldeburgh Music Club is holding a special concert at Orford Church. Along with works by Britten, the concert includes AMC commissions from two young East Anglian composers, Joanna Lee and Joseph Phibbs.
You could almost isolate that first bar as a kind of gesture that could be imitated in kind of like fanfare things or something. Harmonise it in the trumpets or something. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum. Even go into 5/8 or something. You could do something. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Do more of that kind of like concertante chamber wind texture. That's actually quite a nice chord as well. But it's often just trial and error. So again, I'm doing this displacement idea. That's one of my favourite modes. I like that one because it's kind of, I don't know, it's got a momentum.
I believe profoundly that children are a very valuable part of musical life in this and other countries. I think therefore it is the duty of serious composers, artists of all kinds, to give their best to children, to write music which is usable by them.
Don't go drawing back the blind or looking in the street. Then that asks no questions, isn't told a lie. Watch the wall, my darling, while the gentlemen go by the 20 ponies.
Benjamin Britten was an enthusiastic supporter of educational activities, a legacy which continues today in the work of the Britten Peers Foundation, Aldeburgh Music and Aldeburgh Music Club. Their last home, the Red House in Aldeburgh, is the centre of the Britten Peers Foundation. It houses an extensive archive, as well as research and educational facilities.
After a great deal of thought and deliberation, usually done when walking, the music slowly comes into being, and the putting it all down on paper comes much later and is usually quite a quick process.
Benjamin Britten was undoubtedly one of the greatest composers of the 20th century. He left an outstanding cultural legacy to Aldeburgh and the Suffolk coast, the area that had inspired him and continues to inspire all who visit today.